You can't change me. Time gonna bring on a change. They said pick somebody in the history. But I'm going to tell you and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know nothing about my history until I got to LACCD. I didn't know nothing. Because they just wanted you to know just a little bit. All I knew about was Paul Revere, the three pentas. But I'm here to let you know the mothership is always connected to each nationality. Oh, Lord, I ain't got no gun.
Her glasses. There you go.
Okay.
1 minute, darling.
The theme, African American in a time of war. My essay would like to touch on the similarity of the race relationship in the time of war and the present. In the time of war, African American in the military dealt with racism while struggling for freedom. During World War II, while overseas, the black servicemen experienced both positive and negative. Positive and negative. Racial relationship with fighters, unity, African American men in combat fought diligently to survive. However, in today's society, African Americans are still fighting in war with each other, with the system, in their mind. For freedom, for our rights, for peace, for happiness, and for equality. I think the quote from Jonah Truth is very fitting concerning the debt the United States owes the African American who fought in war. American owes to my people some of the dividends she can afford to pay, and she must pay. I shall make them understand that there is debt to the Negro people which they never can repay. At least then must amend, said Juna Truth. As an African American woman, I've been in a war for 30 years fighting. I was in a battle on the battlefield. I was trapped in the cocoon in the war for 30 years of cocaine and criminal activity. But this power that's greater than myself picked this Russian woman up, turned her around, and I broke the bondage, and I am free in my head and inside. I rise. I've risen from my own ashes of the great bird which is said he destroyed himself by fire and risen again from his own ashes. I rise. And today, my life is so beautiful. I've been here at Trade Tech. I deal with mental health. I got more people inside me just the beginning. It don't end here. And you gotta be hungry for your passion career. And I'm a part of DSPS, a part of Moses, EOPS, and I'm of service for any other student that struggle trying to remain here. Believe me, you would love to stay on this side of the atmosphere. My name is Andrea Robertson, and I most of all want to thank the instructors and positive people who believed in me, who knew I could do it, because when I was going like this, they did like that. Thank you.
Ms. Robertson, I'm bowing down to you, Ashe. Okay. Because as you said, you allowed yourself to be freed. I praise you for that, and I thank you for that. I would like to now bring back up Dr. Aisha Randall, who is going to introduce our keynote speaker, the Honorable Councilman Marqueece Harris-Dawson.
Wonderful job, Andrea. We are so proud of you and love you. Love you, darling. I am honored to introduce our keynote speaker, Councilmember Marqueece Harris-Dawson. I was an area representative for the Empowerment Congress Central Area, ECCANDC, in 2005 and volunteered with lots of people from the Community Coalition. It was an exciting time in my life working with like-minded people like Councilmember Harris-Dawson to improve our neighborhood. So this is a true honor for me to be able to introduce him today. Councilmember Harris-Dawson was sworn into office on July 1st, 2015 to represent the 8th District. With his first 18 months as council member, he authored Proposition HHH, a $1.2 billion bond for permanent supportive housing, the largest investment towards ending homelessness in the nation. The council member has authored, yeah, we can clap for that, that's wonderful. The council member has authored more affordable housing than anywhere in the city in his first 2 years in office. On the city council, Harris-Dawson is a supporter for equity issues like homelessness, jobs, clean streets, and community policing. As a longtime community organizer in South LA, Harris-Dawson relies on his deep roots and relationships. The 8th District is home to over 248,000 people with the highest concentration of African Americans in the city located from the Crenshaw District, Hyde Park, and a section of Watts. The 8th District also consists of Manchester Square, West Adams, Harvard Park, and Magnolia Square. District 8 is nearly 18 square miles with a median household income of $32,000. Councilmember Marqueece Harris-Dawson knows that South Los Angeles' greatest resource is its people. The people of South LA deserve a leader whose mission is to advocate on their behalf, put their concerns above his own, and instill leadership values in the community, and that's who we have. Councilmember Harris-Dawson grew up in South LA during the crack cocaine epidemic. As gang and police violence knocked on their front door, his parents moved him and his younger brother out of the neighborhood. Disappointed by being disconnected from his village, the council member made it his life's goal to ensure that no other family had to move out of South LA to keep their children safe. Councilmember Harris-Dawson returned to South LA after graduating from Morehouse College to work for the family real estate business. In 1995, he joined the Community Coalition, one of the most progressive nonprofits in the city. His first campaign, publicized the horrendous conditions of inner city high schools and the inequities in the distribution of public funding. It resulted in a groundbreaking $153 million for repair and modernization in South LA schools. Starting in 2004, Councilmember Harris-Dawson served as president and CEO of Community Coalition, succeeding founder and current Congresswoman Karen Bass. His leadership led a capital campaign to acquire Community Coalition's headquarters on Vermont Avenue and grew the organization's influence, size, and financial standing. Councilmember Harris-Dawson was honored with various community commendations, recognitions, and awards, such as the coveted Do Something Brick Award, the Wellness Foundation Sabbatical Award, the NAACP Man of Valor Award, Durfee Foundation Stanton Fellowship, and Liberty Hill Foundation's Upton Sinclair Award. He also served as a board member for the Liberty Hill Foundation. He holds a certificate in nonprofit management from Stanford's Graduate School of Business and is an Aspen Institute Pahara Fellow. Councilmember Harris-Dawson and his wife, Carrie, are natives of South Los Angeles. His love, compassion, and empathy for the city makes him a wonderful advocate for our city and for our community. Please help me in welcoming Councilmember Marqueece Harris-Dawson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. This is a good day, a good celebration. I'm very excited to be here. I apologize for getting here a little bit late. They were taking some important votes in City Hall that they scheduled for right when I had to be here. And there were some votes that they thought I might have something to say about, like liquor licenses without a public hearing in any establishment in the city of Los Angeles. So we had to stay back and have something to say about that, right? So hopefully you all will forgive me. I was looking forward to this celebration. My last time I graduated was from Morehouse College, and so all of our graduations are black graduations, right? We don't have to have a special one to have a black graduation, but I missed those ceremonies, so I'm happy to be at this one today. I walk in and I immediately saw the drums, and I saw a lot of kente cloth, not necessarily a lot of caps and gowns. So I'm always excited to touch that our people are able to put on celebrations, right? I heard clapping and shouting and foot stomping and a little bit of hollering, a little bit of screaming, and it's all right in our celebration of who we are, what we have done, and what we have accomplished. I want to say just a few words. I want to recognize and appreciate the African American Outreach Initiative, which invited us to be a part of this celebration. Certainly our Chancellor, Chancellor Rodriguez. We have Dr. Corner, my good friend, Pastor J. Edgar Boyd of First AME Church, and Dr. Regina Smith, all of the dignitaries. When I was sitting here on the podium, I was trying to get a sense of how the program was going, and so I leaned over to Pastor Boyd and said, Pastor, you've been at the program, I haven't. What do you think I should talk about in my speech? And Pastor Boyd leaned back to me and said, you should talk about 7 minutes or so. So we're gonna try to keep the program on time, right? Is that all right? I just have one thing to say to the folks who are graduating today and your community and your family around you. You step across this stage and receive this honor at a very important time in the city of Los Angeles and in the history of our people. I say, like they say, like you've heard them say in the parks or in any competition or any recreational activity, one person turns to the other and says, you got next. And that's what I say to all the graduates today, you got next. All of you are Angelenos, the city of Los Angeles, the residents, the men and women, the taxpayer of Los Angeles, provided a beautiful community college system for you to go to and matriculate at. None of you, not one of you, and the chancellor can attest to this, not one of you paid the full cost that it takes to educate you. Your education was subsidized by other Angelenos, and so we accept you into the community of Angelenos, and we give you all of the rights of Angelenos, but also all of the responsibilities. It makes sense that Angelenos would make sure that the children of former slaves and the children of former immigrants to this land had a place to go to school, a place to matriculate, and a place to realize their best potential. After all, it's the city of Los Angeles, unlike any other big city in the entire United States. Of the 44 people who discovered Los Angeles up there on Alvarez Street, the pobladores, at least half of them were of African descent, right? One of our first governors, before this became incorporated into the United States, there's that big street up there called Pico. That was named after Governor Pio Pico, a politician of African descent. As this city developed, one of its main landowners and one of its main pioneers was a short African woman who'd escaped slavery and come to Los Angeles by the name of Biddy Mason. Her picture is up here behind me you can see her on the wagon trail. She, over 100 and some odd years ago, thought about you, right, Pastor? Because she helped build this sanctuary so y'all would have a place to have black graduation on a Tuesday afternoon in 2018. Miss Mason owned most of what is known now as Bunker Hill, all through this area called West Adams, all the way over to what we now refer to as Beverly Hills. She helped build this church, she helped build Second Baptist, and a host of other facilities. When it was her turn, when somebody turned to her and said, "You got next," she stepped to the plate and she left something behind that we could all appreciate and enjoy. Well, you move on from there, more black women keep coming on. We had Carlotta Bass, who started the first newspaper and is the first African-American woman to run for governor anywhere in the United States, right here out of the city of Los Angeles, and a Angeleno, Carlotta Bass. We had Lauren Miller, who helped desegregate the very neighborhood that we sit in today. Paul Williams, the famous architect that not only designed this building, but the Golden State Mutual Life building on the corner, and that funny-looking restaurant in the middle of LAX, the Theme restaurant in LAX. An African-American Angeleno designed that and left that. When it was his turn and when they said, "You got next," he delivered. And our city was led in the 1970s, a member of this church, the First AME Church, our own Mayor Tom Bradley, the longest serving mayor that the city of Los Angeles will ever know. When Tom Bradley became mayor of Los Angeles, from the whole city, you could see City Hall, right? You could see City Hall because it was a nice building, but you could also see it because there were no other tall buildings there. The downtown as you know it, bringing the Lakers here, making this a world-class city, bringing the Olympics back to the city of Los Angeles is something that we can all credit Tom Bradley for. Well, as I get towards the end of my 7 minutes, I go back to the theme, and that is that you all got next. You've seen what African-American Angelenos before you have left and how they struggled and how they helped build. One thing that's underreported about Los Angeles County, I'll bet many people didn't know this, Los Angeles County historically has more African Americans in it than the state of Mississippi. But we find ourselves in a situation now, see, this is where you got next. We find ourselves in a situation now where, for the first time, we think since the 1960s, in this upcoming census, Los Angeles County will have less than 1 million African American people. Gentrification is a very real thing. Mass incarceration is a very, very real thing. That is chipping away at the foundations of this great community that we have built. The city of Los Angeles is currently struggling with a homelessness and housing crisis. The rent is too high, and there are too many people living on the streets. In a county that is 8% African American, of the 58,000 people that sleep on the streets every night, 49% of them are African American. And that's just the official count. So you know how they undercount us in the census count? You imagine how we got undercounted in the homeless count. We have a very challenging problem with our educational facilities, and so some of you, we're going to need you to go on and get your teacher's license and your education's license, because we need your help. We need your help over at Crenshaw High School and Dorsey High School and Washington High School and Manual Arts. All those places have seen a decline in African American attendance and completion. And so, if we are to live up to the standards set before us by those who came before us, we have got to take very seriously the notion that we got next. And so we thank you for everything that you have done, but we're so, so proud of everything that you will do. Congratulations, class of 2018.
You know, I have to say, I got to be thankful when a Morehouse man comes and speaks to her house of the Lord. Thank you so much, Mr. Councilmember Harris-Dawson. Now, here comes the time that all of you have been waiting for. Yes, absolutely, Ashe. So let us now prepare for the bestowing of the Kente graduation stoles. But before we do that, graduates, we must understand the history of what is about to be draped around your necks, and that you wear it in pride and understand why it is to be worn. So I'm going to ask Mr. Jeremy Jackson, who is the Umoja counselor at Los Angeles Trade Technical College, to come and speak on that part.
Good afternoon, graduates. My name is Jeremy Jackson. I have the privilege of being the Umoja counselor at LA Trade Tech. So let's talk a little bit about the Kente stole. The bestowing of the Kente is a West African tradition celebrated by African American students all over the world. The word Kente comes from the word kinten, which denotes basket. Kente is a hand-woven ceremonial cloth originating from the Ashanti Empire, now modern-day Ghana, in West Africa, using a special banding of materials. From its origination, the woven cloth was given as a way to elevate a person it was bestowed upon because they had achieved something great. It was a way of honoring positions. The typical colors are black, which represents Africa, red, which symbolizes the blood of the ancestors, gold, meaning wealth, and green, representing the land. The Kente connects African Americans to their roots from which we have been separated for so long. The slave trade lasted about 500 years, and we are just now only a century and a half out of slavery. It may take another 200 years to eradicate the destructive vestiges of chattel slavery. But ceremonies like this are a way of reaching back and reaffirming our connection with our roots. The Kente stole is regarded as a symbol of prestige and is reserved for important in special occasions like this. It is also a visual representation of history, philosophy, ethics, oral literature, religious beliefs, social values, and political thought. For Los Angeles Community College African American graduates, the Kente stole symbolizes a rite of passage. Those who are bestowed with the Kente have exemplified the characteristics of perseverance and achievement. Graduates, keep your Kente in a special place and take it out to wear on formal occasions.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Now we just have one more thing left to do before you get draped in your stoles. We've got to recognize your colleges, graduates. And the person who is going to come up and do that happens to be my sorority sister. So I need Dr. Regina Smith to come up here and do the roll call for us, please.
Hello, graduates. How are you guys doing today? I am so proud to see all of you. I want to say it's my honor to be here at my church, Pastor Boyd. Thank you very much. And it's my privilege to let you know that I am the Vice President of Student Services at Los Angeles City College. I'd like to thank Dr. Rodriguez, Dr. Coroner. Thank you very much. But I'm also so very proud of all of you, and I'm proud of the parents and the family and the mentors and all the siblings and cousins and nephews that have come here to celebrate, because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And as you sit and you're gonna graduate and you're thinking, what is next for me? I'm getting ready to get my AA degree, my AS degree. What can I do next? The BA? The master's, PhD, JD, MD, it's all in you. It's all in you. We all have humble beginnings to start, and I just want you to know that I am a product of this community. I also have my AA degree, but you know what? I also have 6 college degrees. That's right. The AA, I have 2 BAs, 2 masters, and a doctorate. I stand before you to say, if I can do it, you can too. So as we prepare to acknowledge your greatness and all the greatness that is yet to be, I want you to know that we are really proud to have you, our 2018 Los Angeles Community College District graduates here today. So give yourselves a round of applause. I don't know if you know, but the Los Angeles Community College District is the largest in the nation. I didn't say the state of California, I said the nation. That is something to be very proud of.